What is up, fellow thermonuclear AFers? I am Dan Favale coming at you with what is going to be the big, long-awaited what if project for the Hardwood Knocks podcast. Very quickly, before I explain to you what it is and what you're going to watch in the forthcoming clip, please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. If this is your first time checking us out. Like and comment on our videos. Help the algorithm love us back. It means a lot. Your subscription is the most important thing. Hit that subscribe button. And again, it will genuinely mean the world. Minnesota Timberwolves are next up on our NBA what if exercise. Congratulations are in order for Minnesota Timberwolves fans. The ever thoughtful Derek James, formerly of a Wolf Among Wolves and Canis Hoopus. And also, he currently just started a new Substack on the Wolves. It's a newsletter, Derek James Substack. Check him out on Twitter where you could follow it. It's at Derek James NBA, spelled exactly as it sounds. But he did not go with the franchise's decision to pass on Steph Curry twice in 2009. On the one hand, though, I still think we need to acknowledge it because it's a pretty big deal. And to Derek's credit, he did. This is what he said to me. Let's remember that then Timberwolves general manager David Kahn and then coach Kurt Rambis were not the nurturing types. Look at how it played out with Johnny Flynn, one of the players whom they selected before Curry. Flynn had a below average to average rookie season and had hip surgery around the beginning of his second season. When he returned, the team did not seem to have the patience for him. Given that Curry had a smattering of ankle issues early in his career, the Rambis-Kahn duo likely would have mishandled that situation too. Remember, many people were unsure what position Curry was in the NBA. And though he was bigger than Flynn, he still wasn't huge by NBA standards. Curry would also have been playing in Rambis' triangle offense, a system that often involves a point guard giving up the ball early. This, to me, tracks. It would be harder to stomach Steph's success if it came after he had worn a Wolves jersey as opposed to his never wearing one at all. So there's that element. And then also, Derek James did go on to explain that he had to go to the Kevin Garnett era for his pick. This is what he wrote on that. We know Garnett's extension changed how teams operated, but it also made building around him difficult. Talented free agents like Kendall Gill and LaFonso Ellis came and left, often because the team could no longer afford them. But the problem wasn't Garnett's contract. It was the illegal Joe Smith contract in 2000 that cost the team 4 first-round picks, originally 5, but 2003's was restored. Sure, these would be mid to late first, but the teams worth their salt find value later in the draft. Between 2000 and 2005, the Wolves drafted only 8 players. Of those, none of them played 300 NBA games. So maybe the Wolves were unlucky to draft well anyway, but at least they would have had a chance. While the passing of Curry is one of the most discussed what-ifs, Derek James continued, the illegal Joe Smith contract and the consequences probably matter more because of how much better the early 2000s teams were than the late 2000s teams. The 2004 Western Conference Finals would have been different if Sam Cassell didn't hurt his hip in the previous round. And a young, ascending player or two may have buoyed the Garnett era for a few more years and prevented some of the tensions that soured the Icons' relationship with the franchise. And I think it just makes sense to go with this one in the end because you're dealing with it's tough to talk about, well, what if Steph was in Minnesota? Would he have still become Steph Curry with the Blazers? That's too hard of a question to answer. It still can be at the top of your what if. I totally get that, but I think that Derek ultimately went with the right choice.